Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I will be fighting a 1,250-point battle between my Dark Angels and Marcus's Sisters of Battle. So the story that we've got going on here is that Celestine was leading a force of Adeptus Sororitas onto this planet to take out a chaotic cult that had taken over the planet. They came through and they were cleansing the planet for the Emperor, and they came across some information that the cult had been started by a mysterious Traitor Astartes who was seen in dark power armor of an ancient variety, and they were gathering more information about this Traitor Astartes to hopefully track him down and see what they could do when the Dark Angels arrived in orbit. And voxed down that they wanted the sisters to leave and that they would handle the situation from here on out. Celestine refused, saying that she was doing the work of the Emperor and that she would not be interrupted in her mission. And the Dark Angel said, all right, well, we asked nicely. And then bolts and shots ensued after that. So that's the story that we got going on. We're going to be playing the open war mission. So what we have is we are going to be doing Glory Seeker, which is each player adds up the power ratings of all enemy units that are destroyed during the battle, doubling the power ratings for enemy units that have the character, vehicle, or monster keyword. And at the end of the 5th battle round, the player with the highest total wins the battle, even if their own army has been wiped out. Then we drew the deployment, and the deployment that we got here is this one, which is interesting. So Marcus won the roll-off, and he chose to do the middle deployment, and I chose the, then I was left with, chose the outsides. And then we had the twist that we had, which is add 1 to all psychic warp storms. So add 1 to all psychic tests and deny the witch tests. And in addition, add 1 to the number of mortal wounds that a model suffers when they perils the warp. So that should be interesting, since I've got the psyker and all of his sisters can deny the witch on a 1d6. So now it's going to be 1d6 plus 1, which is pretty interesting, pretty cool. Then I had the lowest number of power levels, so I got the ruse, which allowed me to ambush and pick up some units. So I will discuss which ones that I moved when I go over deployment. So that's the mission that we're going to be playing. That's the story that we're going to be playing out here. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 armies that are going to be fighting out today. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a Vanguard detachment. Leading off the detachment, I have an Interrogator Chaplain on a bike and a Librarian on a bike with a 4-sword. I have 2 3-man Black Knight squads. We have 2 separate attack bikes, one with a heavy bolter and one with a multi-melta. We have a 3-man bike squad with 2 plasma guns. We have a land speeder with a heavy flamer and assault cannon. We have a dark shroud with a heavy bolter. And last but not least, we have a dark talon. And then for the Sisters of Battle, he'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have 2 cannonesses with power swords and bolters. We have 4 Battle Sister squads, 2 with 6 people and 2 with 5 people. One of the 6-person squads has a heavy bolter. We have 2 5-person Dominion squads, one with 4 flamers and one with 4 melta-guns. We have 3 immolators with twin heavy flamers. We have a repressor. We have a Vindicare assassin. And last but not least, we have Celestine herself and her Gemini Superior. All right, so those are the armies that are going to be fighting out today. Going over deployment, I've got my Dark Talon in the corner over here. These guys were actually set up on the other side, but then I ambushed them over to this side. I've got my attack bike over here. Same thing, he was set up over there, and I ambushed him over here. We've got my 2 Black Knight squads here, my Interrogator Chaplain and my Librarian. I've got my Dark Shroud here. My Melta guy was closer up over here, but I moved him back so he was within the bubble of the Dark Shroud. And then I've got my Land Speeder here. So I chose to do everybody on this side because we just decided to butt heads over on this side. Going over deployment now for the Sisters of Battle. We've got the, what's this called? The Repressor over here. And inside there is one of the Dominion squads with the Meltas, right? And they use their scout movement. Basically, scout movement is what they have. So they moved up over to there. This is one of the immolators in here. Inside of there is the other Dominion squad. So they scouted up over this way. We've got another immolator here with a sister squad, 6-person squad, 5-person squad, along with the one of the cannonesses inside there. We've got a 6-person squad over in the building here, along with the Vindicare Assassin. Over here, we've got the other Immolator with another 5-person squad with the Canoness. We have another 6-person squad down on the bottom level here, and Celestine herself is up on top over there. So as of right now, the Sisters of Battle are going to be going first, unless I can seize the initiative. Looking for a 6. Show me that fill first. No, with a 2. So we will come back to you after. Marcus was sweating it. He was like, "Man, if you seize, I'm gonna have trouble." So we'll see what he can do with first turn here. We'll come back to you after movement phase. All right, movement phase here for the Sisters of Battle on turn 1. This Immolator over here with the Dominion squad inside used an Act of Faith to move up. And then are right there in my face. This one actually moved up over here during the movement phase. This moved up during the movement phase. Celestine used an Act of Faith to move up and then moved up again over here, looking on my poor bikes over here. This Immolator over here moved up. They all stood still inside the ruins there, and then that squad stays still inside the ruins there. So that's it for the movement phase. We don't have any psychers, so we will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting off here, the Immolator here is going to fire into my Multi-Melta attack bike over here. So heavy 2d6, so 5 hits. These are going to be strength 5, AP -1. So looking for 4s to wound. All right, so we got 1 wound, AP -1, so 4 up save. And it's good with the fill phase. Woo! And now this Immolator here is going to fire into my attack bike as well. 4 hits. Hitting on, wounding on, just into the wounds. Wounding on 4s. We got 1 wound. Looking for a 4 up. No, fails that. Now over here, the squad inside there, because the Repressor has fire reports, they're going to fire their 4 Melta guns into my Dark Shroud here. They are within Melta range over there. So these are going to be hitting on 4s because of the fact that, oh man, that's really good. Hitting on 4s because the Dark Shroud is -1 to hit. Strength, ooh, 1 second. All right, so wounding on 3s. So we got 2 wounds. AP -4, right? So that just is going to go through. So the first one, 2d6, so 3 wounds from that. And the next one is 6, so 9 wounds. Ooh, it might be dead. 1 second. That is exactly enough to kill it. So does it explode? It does not. And now the Heavy Flamer from the Repressor is going to fire into the Black Knight squad there, so 5 hits. Wounding on 4s. Heavy Flamer, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, wound on 4, so that's 2 wounds. AP -1, so looking for 4 ups. Make them both. And now the Stormbolter into my attack bike. Hitting on, Stormbolter, yeah. So hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s. Whoop. 1 wound. Looking for a 3 up. He's good. All right, so now the Vindicare Assassin is going to fire into my Multi-Melta bike over here. So hitting on 2s, that's a hit. Wounding on 4s because it's not infantry. So that's a wound. AP -3, so looking for a 6 up. No, don't get that. So D3 wounds. 2 wounds. All right, now the sister squad in the building there is going to fire. 3 of them are in range of the land speeder here. 3 of them are in range of the, well, I guess the big issue is 3 of them are in range of the Multi-Melta bike here, and the other 3 are going to fire into my land speeder there. So we're going to go into the ones into the Multi-Melta bike, hitting on 3s. All right, wounding on 5s. No wounds there. And then the 3 into the land speeder, hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s as well. Got 1 wound. And 1 save. Woo! Now Celestine is going to fire her flame sword, Flameo, into these guys over here, into my Black Knights over here. So D6 hits. 6 hits. Woo! Woo! What is it? Strength.
It's a heavy flamer.
Heavy flamer. So wounding on 4s. Oh, that's how you do it. 5. 4 up saves. Failed 2 of them. And now the bolt pistols from the Gemini are going into that squad. So hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s. Oh, got 2 wounds. Man, stop doing so well. But they are in cover there, so they are going to get +1. Oh, yep, so 1 failed. All right, we forgot that they were in cover there, so I got +1. I'm sure I've already been yelled at, but so we looked at it, and there was the 1 that was the 3 that would have been a save because of the cover there. So with that wound, 1 of them's dead. All right, now this sister squad over here is going to fire into my Black Knights over here. So we're going to go with the black are going to be the heavy is going to be the heavy bolter. The red are going to be the regular bolter. So hitting on 3s because they didn't move. Alrighty. Wounding on 4s and 5s. Alright, so we've got 1 at AP -1 and 1 at AP nothing. So the AP nothing is 2 up. Okay. And then the AP -1 is good. Oh, okay. Ooh, thank you, cover. All right, that's it for the shooting phase. On to the assault phase. This repressor is going to charge into my multi-melta bike. So let's go Overwatch. Go with the multi-melta first. Does not hit, and then the twin bolter. So we got 4 shots from that, hitting on 6s. Nope, nothing there. So charge distance is totally in. All right, now Celestine is going to charge into my bike squad over here. I am going to supercharge the plasma, so we'll go with the first guy first, hitting on 6s. Nope, but no, at least doesn't blow himself up. And then the second one does hit and doesn't blow himself up. I like that. So strength 7, what's the average toughness there? 3. Oh, okay, so wounded on 2s. That's a wound. AP -3.
Should get the 5-up shield of faith.
5-up shield of faith. No, goes through. So that is 1 of the sisters dead. And now the bolters from all of them are going to fire. So we've got 12 shots between them, hitting on 6s. All right, we got a couple there. We got 3. Strength 4, looking for 3s to wound. We got 1 wound with another fill face. That might mean something, right? 3 up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're good. And then their charge distance is totally in. And now the repressor is going to charge into the full Black Knight squad there. So I am not going to supercharge these ones. So hitting on 6s. I got 1 hit. Strength 7, looking for 4 to wound. No wound there. Charge distance is totally in.
Totally.
I shouldn't say totally in, but it's but definitely in, because they were only 1 inch away. So cool. All right, well, that is it for the charges. So we will come back to you with the fight phase. All right, so starting off the fight phase, he's going to activate Celestine and her squad there. So Celestine has 7 attacks because he gave her the Warlord trait with the +1 attack, and then Gemini has 3 attacks. So the black is going to be the Gemini, hitting on 2s and 3s.
2s and 3s, yep.
All right. All right, strength.
She's 7.
She's strength 7, so that's going to be wounding on 3s.
3s and 5.
3s and 5. All right, so she has 4 wounds. What is it? AP
-3, 2 damage apiece.
All right, AP -3, 2 damage apiece. So looking for 6 ups. If you see any more than 3 non-6s, that squad is wiped. Yeah, the squad is wiped. All right, so now this immolator is going to have 3 attacks there, hitting on 3s, or hitting on 6s, so nothing there. And this immolator here, 3 attacks.
I'll put it into your character.
You can't because you didn't charge. Yay. Yeah, because my chaplain heroically intervened, like the bro boss he is. But he can't. He wanted to attack him, but you can't because he didn't charge him. So, ha! Here comes the attacks against my Black Knights. No hits there. And now my Black Knights are going to attack in. So I've got 7 attacks because the Sergeant has 1 extra attack. These are going to be hitting on 3s, rerolling because of the Interrogator Chaplain. All right, rerolling because of the Interrogator Chaplain. All right, strength +1 becomes strength 5, so wounding on 5s. All right, so we got 2 6s. So this is AP -1. These become D3 damage each because of that. So AP -1. So 1 failed. D3 wounds. 3 wounds. I'll take that. And now my Interrogator Chaplain's going to attack in. 3 attacks hitting on 2s. All right, all hits. Strength +1, so wounding on 5s. I got 1 wound. AP -1. Ooh, that goes through, so that's 2 damage. All right, now the attack bike's going to attack into his repressor over here. So 2 attacks hitting on 3s. I got 1 hit. 1 second. Nah, he's way out of range of the Interrogator Chaplain. So this is now going to be wounding on a toughness 7, right? So 5. No wound there. All right, and that is it for the Sisters of Battle turn here on turn 1. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 1. All right, so Dark Angels turn 1 here. Movement phase. He dropped into hover mode, stayed over there. He moved across. My Librarian moved across over here. That attack bike with the heavy bolter stayed still. The Black Knights and the Interrogator Chaplain fell back from combat. The other Black Knight squad stood still over there, and he stood in combat with the Immolator over here, and then my land speeder jumped up over this way. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, we're going to start out the psychic phase with my librarian casting Smite onto Celestine and her unit over there. So we've got looking for a 5. I get +1 to this roll. So that's 7. And then she can... Oh no, she can only tie, so she can't beat it because it's +1 to her roll as well. So that is goes through. So looking for D3 mortal wounds. 2 mortal wounds. And now he's going to cast a Mind Worm onto her. So, goes off with an 11. Ooh, why couldn't it have been the other way around? So she takes a mortal wound and then has to fight last in the fight phase. Now, moving into the shooting phase, we're going to start with my Dark Talon firing into Celestine. So we've got heavy D3 for the Rift Cannon. 1. I'm going to spend a command point on that. To 2. All right. He moves, so it's heavy, so it's going to be -1 to hit, but then +1 because of strafing run, so looking for a 3-up. Okay, 1 hit. Strength 10, so wounding on a 2. That is a wound. AP -3.
4-up invul.
4-up invul save. She's good. And now his 2 Hurricane Bolters are going to fire into Celestine over there, so we've got 24 shots, hitting on 2s because of strafing run. We'll come back to you with that. All right, I had 1 miss from that. Pretty brutal. Now they're going to be wounding on 3s. She's toughness 3, so wounding on 3s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. So I had 5 non-wounds there. So we have 18 2-up saves, right?
Yeah.
So 18 2-up saves. Failed 1, 2, 3 of those. Yep, so she takes 3 wounds. Now my attack bike's going to fire into Celestine over here. So we've got the black's going to be the heavy bolter. Greens are going to be the twin bolters that are in rapid fire range there. So these are going to be hitting on 3s because he didn't move. All right. So wounding on, all wounding on 3s. All right. So we've got 1 3-up save and 2 2-up saves. So 1 3-up save. Oh, the black's going to be the 3-up save. All right, fails 1. And now my librarian's going to fire in there. So 4 shots hitting on 3s. All right. Oh, those fill faces looking good. Wounded on 3s. We got 3 wounds. 3 2-ups. Ooh, fails another 1. All right, now my land speeder is going to fire everything into the sisters over here. So the heavy flamer first. 1 hit. That is a wound though, with a fill first. AP -1 +1. You good? And now the assault cannon, 6 shots, hitting on 4s because it moved. Strength 6, so wounding on 2s. Okay, 2 wounds, AP -1 +1, 3-ups. Fails 1. All right, so now these Black Knights are going to fire into Celestine through the window over there. So we've got 4 shots hitting on, not going to supercharge, so hitting on 3s. Alrighty. Strength 7, so wounding on 2s. Okay, we got 2 wounds. AP -3, so 2 4-up invul saves. Fails 1, and she is dead. Yeah. So this is her roll to see if she comes back on a 2-up. Oh, she really wants to come back. So she will be back next movement phase. And there she is at the top floor. So we thought she was down there. Turns out she was up top here. All right. All right, that's it for shooting. So on to the assault phase. These Black Knights are going to charge into the repressor over here. So heavy flamer, D6, 2 hits, strength 5, so wounding on 4s. Got no wounds there. And then the storm bolter hitting on 6s. Got 1 hit, wounding on a 5. No wound there. And their charge distance is totally in. All right, so starting off the fight phase here, these guys, my Black Knights here are going to attack into the repressor there. So I've got 5 attacks between them there, hitting on 3s. All right, re-rolling because of the Interrogator Chaplain there. All right, doesn't help if you keep rolling 1s and 2s. Wounding on a 5. Whoa. No wounds there.
Motion feature.
And now, here comes the attack bike into his immolator over there. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. All right, so that's 2 hits, wounding on 5s. Got 1 wound, 3-up. No, fails it.
All
right, and now coming back with his attacks, we're gonna start over here. So this is 3 attacks over here. So hitting on 6s. I got 1 hit, wounding on strength 6, right? So wounding on a 3, that's a wound. Looking for a 3-up armor save. No, Failed it, and he's dead. That is the opposite of what I wanted to happen. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna spend a command point because I need that to stay. Yeah, with a 3. Woo! And now the Immolator is having D3 attacks in here. So 2 attacks, hitting on 6s and no hits there. So that is it for the fight phase. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Sisters of Battle here on turn 2. So Act of Faith, he got it successfully off on a 2+, and this Immolator is now going to fire into my land speed over here. So 2d6 shots, so 8 hits, pretty brutal. These are going to be strength 5, so wounding on toughness 6. Well, no, toughness 5. So these are going to be wounding on 4s. All right, so we've got 5 wounds. We've got 5 -1, so 5 4-up saves. Make 3 of them. All right, movement phase for the sisters here on turn 2. Celestine had used an Act of Faith to jump down here, and then at the end of the movement phase, brought back one of her Gemini over there. The Repressor fell back from combat over here. This Immolator moved up over this way. This Immolator stayed over here in combat. These sisters and the Canoness disembarked from this Immolator before it moved over there, and everyone else stood still where they are. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, start off the shooting phase. This Immolator is going to fire into my land speeder here. So that is 11 hits. That's going to be brutal. All right, wounding on 4s. Oh, okay, not as brutal there. So that is 3. So we've got 3 4-ups. Also helps if I roll like that. So, all right, 2 more wounds. And then this sister squad's going to fire into him. So we got 10 shots hitting on 3s with bolters here. So we've got a bunch of shots there. So looking for 6 shots there. 6 hits, wounding on 5s. We've got 1 wound, AP nothing, so 3 up, save. And he's good, woo!
Shots from that squad.
And now this sister squad and the Canoness, we're just gonna roll at the same time. We're gonna fire into the land speeder there, so 12 shots. Hitting on 3s. All right, and wounding on 5s. I got 2 wounds, 2 3-up saves, and they're good. And now this squad's gonna fire into the land speeder. Blacks are going to be the heavy bolter. These are all hitting on 3s. All right. Wounding on 4 and 5s. So we got 1 wound at AP -1. So looking for a 4-up. And he's good, woo! And now this Immolator here is gonna fire into the injured squad over here. So we got 2d6 shots, 8 hits. All right, so these are going to be strength 5. So they're going to be wounding on 4s. All right, so that is, rock cock there. All right, so there's 1, 2, so all but 3, right? Oh, 4. So they got 4 wounds. AP -1, +1 because they're in cover. So looking for 3-ups. Failed one of them, which is another guy dead. And the Vindicator is going to fire at that squad as well. So, no hit. Wow. And now Celestine and her Gemini are going to fire into my Librarian. So we got Celestine's Flamer attack, so 4 hits. Strength 5, so wounding on, well, that's because that still has to hit, right?
Oh yeah, you're good point.
Pistol,
Sorry.
so we do the pistol. That is a hit. So now the black is going to be wounding on 5s. The reds are going to be wounding on 4s. All right, so we've got 2 wounds. One's at AP -1. So we'll do the AP -1 first. So looking for a 4-up. Good with a fell face. And then the AP nothing 1, 3-up. And good with a 5. All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. On to the assault phase. Celestine and her Gemini are going to charge into my flyer here because he's in hover mode. So we're going to go with the Hurricane Bolters first on Overwatch. So we got 24 shots looking for 6s. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3. So 3 looking for 3s. We got 1 wound. 3 up, they're good. And now the heavy Rift Cannon. So D3, 3 shots. Looking for 6s. Oh, no wound, no hits there. So her charge distance is totally in. And now his Immolator is going to charge into my attack bike there. That is in. And now the sister squad's going to charge into my land speeder. So the heavy flamer first. 6 hits. Wounding on 3s. Oh, 3 wounds. AP -1, so 3 4-ups. What we'll do over here. Fate makes 2 of them. Pretty good. And then the assault cannon looking for 6s. Getting 1. That is a wound. That is not a save. And now they're going to charge. They are totally in. And then the cannoness is going to charge in there. I think that should be in. Yeah, she's in. And starting off the fight phase now, we're going to go with the cannoness into my land speeder. So cannoness is going to have 4 attacks hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because of herself. Oh, back into a 1, don't get to roll again. So that's 3 hits, wounding on 5s. No wounds there. And now the sisters are going to attack in, 4 attacks hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because of the cannoness. All right, back into a 1. Seems to be the way it's going here. Wounding on 5s. No wounds there. All right, so now his immolator consolidated in and wrapped around there so that it took in my Black Knights over here. But both of them are going to attack into my attack bike. So we've got 6 attacks coming in here, hitting on 6s. No hits there. And now Celestine and her Gemini are going to attack in over here. So red's going to be Celestine with 7 attacks here, hitting on, she's hitting on 2s, right? And then 3s for the Gemini, right? Yep. So, all right. So, okay, strength 7. Oh, toughness, 1 second. All right, so the reds are going to be wounding on toughness 6. So reds are going to be wounding on 3s. Blacks are going to be wounding on 6s, right? Strength there. All right, so we've got 4 wounds at AP -3, right? What was it, AP -4? 1 second. Yep, AP -3, so looking for 6 ups. Show me them filth versus. Oh! Yeah! That's how you do it! Woo! All right, so now on to my guys over here. So my Dark Talon's going to try to flap his wings into Celestine's face over here. So we got 3 attacks hitting on 6s. Yeah, I did not, apparently I used all my 6s on saves. Now my Black Knights are going to attack in here, 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. Re-rolling because of the Interrogator Chaplain. All right, strength +1, wounding on 5s. All right, that 6 is going to be D3 wounds, so we've got, all of them are AP -1, so let's do the two that are 4-ups. All right, so it takes 1 wound, and then 1 4-up. No, D3 wounds, 2 wounds. Now my attack bike is going to attack into this repressor over here. It's 2 hits. That is 1 wound. 3-up save. And good. And my land speeder is going to attack into the sisters. 2 attacks. I get 1 hit. That is a wound. And that is a save. And that is it for the Sisters of Battle turn here on turn 2. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 2. All right, movement for the Dark Angels here. My flyer stayed in hover mode and backed out over here. The attack bike stayed still right there. My librarian stayed still over here. They stayed in combat. He stayed in combat. He fell back out of combat over there, and these guys moved up towards both the Interrogator Chaplain and the lone Black Knight moved up looking on his repressor. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, we're going to start off here with my librarian casting Smite into Celestine over there. It's looking for a 5. I get +1 to this, so that is a 5. So let's see if he can deny it. +1 to this too. 3, no, so it goes through. D3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds. And now he's going to cast Mindworm into Celestine. So that, again! All right, no, cannot deny it. Yeah, so that goes through. All right, so because he's got fly, he can shoot, and he is going to start off the shooting phase by shooting into Celestine. So we're going to go with the Rift Cannon first. D3, heavy D3. 2 shots. Hitting on 3s because of -1 to move, +1 because of what's the thing with the other thing? Strafing run, thank you very much. So hitting on 3s. We got 1 hit. Wounding on a strength 10, so wounding on a 2. That is a wound. 4-up invul. No, goes through, so that is 3 wounds onto her. And then we roll to see on the Rift. Oh, he's going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Oh, and she is good. Well done. And now the Hurricane Bolter is going to fire into her. So 24 shots, hitting on 2s. All right, that one's cocked. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so I had 4 misses there. So 20 hits, wounding on 3s because of her toughness 3. All right, we'll come back to you with that. And now that's 13 wounds, so 13 2-ups. Fails 1 of them. All right, now my Librarian's going to fire into her. So 4 shots, hitting on 3s. Oh, that is a wound though. 2 up.
I laugh, but here comes 1.
Oh. All right, so now my attack bike's gonna fire into her. Got 3 shots with the heavy bolter, 2 with the bolter because she's out of 12 inches now. So hitting on 3s. Alrighty. Wounded on all of them wounded on 3s. All right, so we've got 1 at AP -1, so 1 3 up. She's good. My Interrogator Javelin's gonna fire into her. Whoop. So that's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds, 2 2-ups. Oh, makes them both. My Land Speeder's gonna shoot everything into the cannoness. We got the Heavy Flamer, 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. That is 3 wounds, AP -1, so 3 4-ups. Failed 1. And then the Assault Cannon hitting on 4s because he moved. Alrighty.
When I first opened, it was like
Strength 6, so wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds, 4-ups. Ooh, failed them both. All right, so now my attack bike as a pistol is going to fire into his immolator there. That's a hit. That is not a wound. And then these guys over here have pistols, and they're going to fire. That is 1 hit. That is 1 wound. 3-up save. No, goes through. And the Black Knight here is going to fire into the Repressor. 2 shots hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. Strength 7, toughness 7, so looking for 4s to wound. Got 2 wounds, AP -3, so 6-ups. Makes 1 of them, so it takes 1 wound. All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. Onto the assault phase. My Librarian's going to charge into Celestine, so her Heavy Flamer, 4 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 2 wounds, AP -1, so 4-ups. Oh, failed them both, but still alive. And now let's see his charge distance. It's 4 inches. Shoot. Ooh, we're gonna find out. All right, so he's just out of 5, so I need a 5-inch charge here. So spending a command point because I really want to get that charge in. Yeah, with the 4, giving it the 6. Woo! Now my Black Knight's gonna charge into his Repressor, Heavy Flamer, so that's 5 hits, wounding on 4s. Whew. 3 wounds. 3 3-up saves because it's on the Trevor there. And I make 2 of them, so it's down to 1 wound. And then the Storm Bolter, looking for 6s. Oh no, wound on a 5. Okay, doesn't make it. So charge distance, yeah, totally in. And then my Interrogator Chaplain's going to charge in. The 4 inches should be in too. All right, so now on to the fight phase. My Librarian's going to attack into Celestine here with 3 attacks. So 3 attacks hitting on 3s. Oh, I'm going to spend a command point on 1 of those. No! Oh man, 1 attack. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. Okay, that's a wound. AP -3, so 4-up invul save. No, it goes through. Okay, so she has... Oh, he's going to spend a command point as well. Oh no, it does go through. Okay, here it goes. So, she has 3 wounds left. Force Sword is D3 wounds. There's a 1 in 3 chance that she dies. Oh man, come on. Show me that 5 or 6. Show me that 5 or 6. Show me a fail face. No, just a 2 and she is still alive and I spent my command point. Oh, that's brutal because I think she's gonna just whomp all over my Librarian. All right, so now my Black Knight here is gonna attack in. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. All hits, wounding on 5s. Getting 1 with a 6, so that is good though, AP -1. Then my Interrogator Chaplain, hitting on 2s. All right, those are all hits. Wounding on 5s. Wish I had changed those rolls back and forth. And now my Black Knights are going to attack into his Immolator over there. So 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. All right. right. Wounding on 5s. Ooh, okay. So we've got 2 6s and 1 5. So the 5 is good. And then the 2 6s. 1 is failed, so that is a D3 wounds. We got 3 wounds. And now he is going to activate Celestine over here. So she's got 7 attacks, hitting on 2s. Oh boy. Wounding on 3s. Okay, so we've got 5 wounds. Can I do with him what I did with my Dark Talon? He was, my opponent has already threatened to flip the table if I manage to get 5 fill faces. I say it would totally be worth it. So here we go. 5 6 ups. Show me them fill faces. No, I got none. So yeah, my librarian is Kaputski. And then my attack bike's gonna go into this repress over here. 2 attacks. That's 2 hits with the fill faces. 1 wound with a 5. And 1 save with a 4. And now his, both of the immolators are going to attack into my attack bike. So we're gonna have 4 total because he's down to the last one. So 4 attacks, hitting on 6s. No hits there. And that is, oh no, and we've got the repressor over here, who is gonna, at full, right?
Yep.
So looking for 3 attacks into the Black Knight. No hits there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the Dark Angels' turn here. Oh, that one was so painful. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Sisters of Battle here on turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Sisters of Battle here on turn 3. This immolator fell back. This immolator fell back. These guys disembarked from the immolator that was over here, this one, and then moved up over here. These sisters fell back away from the land speeder over here. These girls over here moved up. And the repressor fell back over there. So that, and oh, and Celestine, she used the Act of Faith that gave her D3 wounds back, got 3 wounds back, so she's back up to 4, and she brought back one of her Gemini Superior. So that is it for the movement phase for the Sisters of Battle. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, this immolator is going to fire into my Black Knight over here. So we got 2d6 hits, 9 hits. All right, so these are going to be strength 5, AP -1, wounding on 4s. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. AP -1, uncover there. So looking for 3 ups. Ooh, failed 2. So he is dead. All right, now this Dominion squad is going to fire all the flamers into my Black Knights, and the bolter from the Sister Superior, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Sister Superior is going to fire into my into my attack bike over here. So we're going to go with the regular flamers here first. So we've got 5. Oh no, it's D6. So still 5 plus 11, so 16 attacks. We'll come back to that. All right, so 16 hits, wounding on 5s. All right, so we've got 4 wounds there. 4 3-up saves. Failed 1 of them. And then the bolter. That's 1 hit. That's all it's gonna need. Wounding on 5. Oh no, that's a wound. All right, here we go. 3-up save for my attack bike. He's been real strong so far. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, yeah, he's good with the 4. All right, so now Celestine and her Gemini are going to fire into my Interrogator Chaplain over here. So the Flamer attack, 1 hit. All right, strength 5, so wounding on a
hit with a pistol.
And hit with a pistol, that is a hit. So wounding on 5 and 4. All right, so that's both wounds. 1 is at AP -1. So 1 is going to be at a 4-up. That is good. And then 1 at a 3-up. Which is also good with a fill phase. Woo! All right, the 5 sister squad in there is going to fire into my land speeder over here, hitting on 3s. Whoa, pretty good. 1 miss. All right, these are strength 4, so wounding on 5s. Okay, we got 3 wounds there. 3 3-up saves. Ooh, failed 1, still alive. Now the Canoness is going to fire into him. That's 1 hit. Wounding on a 5. No wound. All right, priority targets have been received, and the Vindicare Assassin is going to try to shoot into him. So here we go. Hitting on a 2. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. That is a wound. Oh, with a 6. Okay. Well, it doesn't make a difference. If I fail this 6-up save, he's dead. So let's see. Can I get a fill face? Show me that fill face. No, I'm going to spend my last command point on this because it's hilarious. And you see that fill face? No, that's cocked. Oh! so close. It's like right there. You can see it, but doesn't count. So he is dead, finally. And now the sister squad's going to fire into my land speeder. All right, so we got 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. We got 3 wounds. That's how you do it. 3 up saves. No, he's dead. Does he explode, though? No, he does not. And now this sister squad's going to fire into my interrogator chaplain. The black are the heavy bolters, hitting on 3s. Alrighty. Wounding on 5s and 4s. Okay, so we just got the 1 wound, AP -1. Just looking for a 4-up. He's good with a fill face. Alright, so now his immolator is going to charge into my interrogator chaplain. Got 4 shots in Overwatch here, hitting on 6s. No, nothing there, so charge distance 5 inches is in. And now Celestine's going to charge in there, looking for a 6-inch charge. Yo, getting it. That's all that matters, is that she got it. Alright, and that is it for the charges. So now on to the fight phase. Celestine and her Gemini are going to do attack first. So reds are Celestine, that's the word I was looking for. Hitting on 2s, and then the blacks are the Gemini hitting on 3s. Okay. Strength 5, right?
Strength 3 and 7.
Strength 3 and 7. So looking for 3s and 5. Okay. So that is 6 at AP -3. So he's got a Rosaria save. So he's got 6 4-up saves. Has he been praying to the Emperor? Let's find out. Yeah, he's been doing pretty good. So he failed 2 of them. Those are 2 damage apiece. So that's 4 damage. So he's still alive. And then he's got 1 3-up save, right? Oh, man.
AP -3, so it's the Rosarius too, isn't it?
It's AP -3, so this Rosarius as well. 4-up. No, failed that. So he's 5 wounds. Technically, he could die. But he's got the Warlord trait of a 6-up, ignoring wounds. So I've got 5 6-ups. I need 1. Just 1. Just looking for 1 to survive. Show me that fill first. No! Wow! I would have... Even if those were armor saves, I would have failed them all. Oh, I should have made the Dark Talon the Warlord. He's the one with all the luck. Oh, man, brutal. So that is, yeah, my interrogator chaplain is dead. Bwah, bwah. And that is it for Sisters of Battle here on turn 3. So we'll come back to you with, after a movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 3. All right, movement for the Dark Angels. My attack bike over here moved up here. He stayed in hover mode, moved up over this way. And my Black Knights over here stayed still. And that is it. So we will come back to you with the shooting phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 3. All right, so now my Dark Talon is going to fire into Celestine and her Gemini there. So we're going to go with the Hurricane Bolters first. So we got 24 shots here, hitting on 2s because of Strafing Run. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, we got 20 hits, wounding on 3s. We'll come back to you with that. All right, so 17. These have to go into her because she's got the wounds on there. So 2 ups. Ooh, failed 2 of them. Ooh.
You can get multiple hits.
And now the here we go with the whatchamacallit, Rift Cannon into them. D3 shots. 2 shots. Hitting on 3s because of Strafing Run and movement combining there. So that is 2 hits. Strength 10, wounding on 2s. We got 2 wounds. So the first has to go on to Celestine with a 4-up. She's good, and then a 4-up again. No, and she is dead. So she is dead. Are you going to?
Yeah,
all right, he's going to re-roll that. No, and she is still dead. So Celestine, because it's 3 damage, so she's dead. Also, the Rift Cannon did damage to the squad, so I get to roll on the Rift Vortex. On a 3-up, I'll be doing D3 mortal wounds. So looking for a 3-up. Yeah, with a 4. So D3 mortal wounds. Oh, 1. Jeez. Oh, she's still alive and that's painful. And now my attack bike here is going to fire his bolters into the Gemini, and then the heavy bolter into the repressor. So we're going to go with the heavy, bolters into the Gemini here, hitting on 3s. All right, so that's 4 hits. I'll take that. Wounding on 3s. We got 3 wounds. 3. And she failed it, so she is dead. And then the heavy bolter into the repressor here. 3 shots, hitting on 4s because he moved. Ooh, all hits. Strength 5, looking for 5s to wound. No wounds there. All right, now my Black Knights are going to fire into his repressor over here. They are going to supercharge, so we'll do this one at a time. So we got the first one hitting on 3s. Okay, that's 2 hits with fill faces. Ooh, 1 second. All right, now the second one. All right, 1 miss, but doesn't blow up. And then 1 more. Ah, it does blow up. So 1 guy's gonna be dead, but we've got 4 hits. These are wounding on strength 8, so wounding on 3s. Ooh, that's brutal. All right, 1 wound. 6 up. Oh no, so he does take 2 wounds, but I also lost the guy. Womp womp. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. On to the assault phase. The Black Knights are going to assault into his immolator over here. So 3 hits. This is with the flamer thing. So 3 hits, wounding on 4s. So that's 2 wounds. AP -1, so 4 ups. Failed 1 of them, and then their charge distance is totally in. All right, that's it. So on to the fight phase. These guys are going to attack in here. I've got 5 attacks from them, hitting on 3s. Ooh. Not great. Wounding on 5s. Oh man, 1 regular wound and then 1 extra wound. So we'll do the regular one. Goes through, and then the other one. Oh, he makes that one. Well done. And now he's going to try to open his door back with the 1 attack on a 6. No hit there. And that is it for the Dark Angels here on turn 3. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Sisters of Battle on turn 4. All right, movement phase here for the sisters. His immolator came up over this way. These sisters moved up over this way, and he stayed in combat, so he's still in combat there. His canoness is making her way over this way. His repressor moved up over this way, blocking out my my Dark Talon, and his immolator over here is looking on my attack bike over here. So that is, and everyone else just stood still. So that is it for movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so now his the Dominion squad inside there is going to fire into my Dark Talon. So we've got 4 melter shots hitting on 3s. All right, that's all hits because he's in hover mode because I went into hover mode there. So it's all hits. Wounding on 3s. We've got 3 wounds, AP -4, so that just goes straight through, with obviously within melter range over there. So the first one, 6. Oh no! All right, second one is 6. So he is dead. That was, man, that is very efficient. Taking him out. See, does he explode? No, the opposite of an explode. So yeah, he just just slowly hovers down to the ground and then just falls over. So now the immolator is going to attack into my attack bike there. So 2d6, 10 hits. All right, wounded on 4s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 6 wounds there. So we have 6. 3 up saves because he's in cover there. So 6 3-ups. All right, fell 4 and he is, yeah, he's dead.
Charging.
All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. On to the assault phase. His canoness is going to charge in here. Looking for 6, getting in. And then they're going to charge in. They're totally just in. And then the bike, the whatchamacallit, immolator is also going to be in. So we'll come back to you with the fight phase. All right, the canoness is going to attack in first, hitting on 3s. All hits. Looking for 5s. Ooh, getting 2. 2 6-up saves. Oh, making 1. All right, the squad here is going to attack in 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on... re-rolling 1 because of the canoness. There you go. Wounding on 5s. We got 2 wounds. 2 3-ups. And I make them both. 3 attacks from this repressor. That's all hits. Oh no, 1 hit. Sorry. All hits. I was thinking 3. That is a wound. That is a save though. And then this repressor. No hit there. All right, now my Black Knight is going to attack 1 into the canoness, 2 into this his immolator over here. So we're gonna go with 1 into canoness, hitting on a 3. That's a hit with a fill face. Strength +1, so looking for a 3. That's a wound. AP -1. No, and she is dead. And then the 2 other attacks into the immolator over here on 3s. Oh, that's 2 hits. Looking for 5s. No, not getting it. Womp, womp. And that is the end of the Dark Angels, not Dark Angels, the Sisters' turn here on turn 4 or 5? Maybe 5. Might be 5. 1 second. All right, so now onto the Dark Angel's turn. He's going to stay in combat there, and then we're just going to move into the fight phase, and he's going to attack into his immolator over here. That's 3 hits. Oh, I should have saved those that roll for this next one because wounded on 5s. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. So we've got, we'll do let's see the regular one over there. Goes through, and no, man. Don't do this to me. And 4 up on the 6 up. Oh, of course he does. Ah, why? When will I ever learn to just let it happen? Oh, that is brutal. And now onto his attacks. We're gonna go with the repressors. So 4 total between the 2 of them. The immolators, sorry. So no hits there. And then we've got 6 attacks, right, from the sisters over here. That is 4 hits. Looking for 5s to wound. Got 1 wound. And he is good. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the end of this game. It was not going to go very well from there on out. So, yes, a Sisters victory. Celestine went down. I'm sure she'll pop up somewhere else in the universe, wherever she is needed as the Emperor so decides, because her body wasn't found. So she's just off there somewhere doing that thing. Yeah, that got brutal pretty quick. There was some really key turns where it looked like it could have gone either which way. Like when I was really taking down Celestine over here early on, it felt good. And my opponent was sweating it a little bit when my Dark Talon made 4 6-up saves. That was incredible. But then he just managed to play it very well. So I think the deployment worked out very well for him, being able to get up in my face really quick with the flamers, and then he locked a lot of my key units up in close combat with his vehicles, which is not what I wanted, which was very smart and highly tactical and well played, sir, on that part. But yeah, this was still a ton of fun. Really liking the open play cards, the open war cards. They're just a lot of fun, really shift things around. This is the first time we did I've done this mission, like the Looking for Glory, which was a lot of fun, and a really cool. And it really kind of shifts around. I really like the idea of using the power level points for like a Purge the Alien kind of thing, or No Mercy as it's called now, just because if you run up against an Imperial Knights army where they have just 5 Imperial Knights, you've got 5 kill points that you can get. That's seems kind of brutal, but if you do it with power levels, I think it balances back out again, which is a lot of fun. Makes it really a cool game. So yeah, I had a blast with this game. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I certainly did. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Marcus, and until next time, have fun.